This guy's. Ugh. Hey, everybody. Let's see if anybody's actually here. Nobody yet, but screw it. Not going to stop me. All righty. Let's get to it. As you can set up a little bit here, so understand what I do. Let me see if I can fix this. I said, sorry about this, guys. All righty. Continuing from last week, start attaching these to the bases. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second here. There we go. Mute it. I'm using hot glue to get these onto the bases. It's a pretty simple deal. Make sure the whole thing's on the base. Wouldn't want that to go wrong. But and why am I using black glue? Hot glue? Well, it's because it shows up pretty simple. It shows up on camera better so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. That's why I started using the black, because it's just easier to see. Could you use PVA for this? Yeah, absolutely you could. But I prefer using hot glue if I can, especially with the foam, because it's just quicker. And you can see the little strings a lot better. Like I said, it just shows, honestly, in all honesty, the black just shows up on camera better. I mean, the colored hot glue does actually cost a little bit more, so, you know, it's not something that you really have to do. Let's see here. Nope, nobody. That's fine. Oh, man. That was easy. Alrighty, let's see here. Something I forgot to do before set. Yeah. Mod Podge. Hey, Cleric's Creations, how you doing, man? Oh, yeah, I can see that pretty well. Actually, you know what? Rather than do this, I know what I need to do. I am going to. Ooh, I'm almost out. I should have picked some up. Put on. Like I said, I don't plan how I craft my stuff. I just kind of wing it. But put some texture paste on this, on the base here. And this is a simple, easy recipe. It's just wall filler, spackling, whatever you want to call it, PVA, sand, and I add some paint to the mixture just to color it up, which is a totally unnecessary step. But the thing is, when you're making your homemade texture paste, it's a good idea to add paint to it, or some paint, ink, or something to color it up. Because if, and I'm saying if, your the paint gets chipped on top of the paste, you won't have a bright white spot showing through. Now I've used black and made it gray, but anymore I just go with brown because most of my texture paste is for ground cover anymore, and stucco for buildings. So brown's overall is just a good color for me personally to use. Yeah, this is going to take till tomorrow to dry, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. If I could still put some Mod Podge on it afterwards. I don't know if I showed last week, but the actual monsters are going to be these plastic Venus flytraps I got from Temu. I actually found some smaller ones on Temu as well, so I ordered those. They just haven't arrived yet, so yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I kind of went on a Temu shopping spree recently for my birthday, so it's like I want to get some shit for my birthday, so went on Temu, got a bunch of stuff I wanted. Oh yeah, I said, and it's all black. And they also have. Hold on a second here. Rainbow colors. So there's definitely colored hot glue. Granted, if I wasn't crafting on camera like this, and you do it too, Clarence. If when you're hot gluing, it's clear, so it's kind of hard for it to pick up on camera. So, like I said, I started using the colored one because it just shows up so nicely on camera. And also, another event is one of the things I like to do. I don't know if you can see how I have a little base there sitting, a little base right here sitting underneath the tip of my hot glue gun. I let the hot glue drips collect, and I get little interesting. Let me see if I can get this. Little interesting piles and shapes, and they paint up perfectly for like ochres, slimes, and stuff like that. But if you don't feel like painting them, just use colored hot glue. You're good to go. Other than the base. Oh yeah, I know I just sent a big box up to Dungeon Minister for Claricon that he's running in November, I think. But I had like a big bag full of ochre slimes of all different colors, and oh god, there must have been, I must have sent around 20 of them up. But the thing is like every time I'm crafting, I'm using hot glue, so I'm always making them. So it's not like I'm always making those little slime monsters. Like it's a way of not wasting any hot glue at all, if that makes any sense. I can be making my own monsters, which recently, I've started to really enjoy doing without any real effort with these slimes and stuff. It's pretty easy, and they paint up really quick and easy. All I have to do is, I mean, if anything screams for slap chop painting, It's the ochres and slimes and oozes. And I am definitely going to have to pick some more of this up tomorrow. Ooh. Definitely not the stage to be neat. I hate being neat. But yeah. Yeah, I think I got the color. The colored hot glue you can get on Amazon easy enough, but there's a Hobby Lobby like within 10 minutes of my house, so I just went there and picked it up. I've also seen I think it's Art by Jeremiah. He was experimenting with using red and yellow hot glue for making lava. It actually turned out pretty good. I'm pretty sure it was Art by Jeremiah anyway, but yeah. Hot glue for more than sticking stuff together. I mean, I've made, well, let's see here, fire elementals. I attempted to make a water elemental, but when I did that, I was sick as a dog, and it wound up looking like a lumpy blue dog turd, so I threw that one out and never went back to visit it. And of course, I make slimes, ochres, and oozes with it. I think I saw a picture of, what was it? And of course, there's always all the spell effects you can use with hot glue. Like I said, fire's the main thing I use it for. And when I intentionally sculpt something, and not just like this right here. Oh, man. But yeah, again, let me stay here for a second, quick. I mean, let's be honest. What shows up on camera better? Yeah. And put it against a light background, it's even this. Yeah. And we know this. The clear. Typically, this will go crystal clear when it's melting. So. Hey, Dungeons and Chronics, how's it going, man? Ugh. Just adding some texture paste to the bottoms of these things. I said, kind of regretting that I forgot to pick up any spackle this week, and I knew I had to get some, and of course I just kind of forgot. But yeah. Oh, what the? Washed your what is it? But what cleric and CC and DNC? I mean, both you had made something to do with water boats, or like I said, Clarice, you made that awesome World of Warcraft work transporter boat, whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Dungeons and Chronics, you made all those different types of rafts, which again makes me think, yeah, I should build some of those. Make some DBT rafts. Oh, man. Oof. Man, I am barely going to have enough. I'm headed to this. I'm planning on going to the store tomorrow anyway, so. Tell you what, I've been slacking a lot lately, running out of materials. Knowing I'm going to run out of it, but just kind of forget to go get. And the sad part is, I drive right by the stores that has the stuff, but it just don't stop. Oh well, shit happens. Oops, sorry about that. Trying to keep this PG. Because I know sometimes kids watch my stuff, so. Yeah. I mean, I got everything to make this wraps. I got coffee stir sticks. I got a bunch of barbecue skewers. I don't know. I may actually try and do an all foam one because God knows I got enough. I think I have enough that I could actually build a car out of foam. Legitimately, that's not a joke. I have enough foam that I could legitimately build a model car out, a full scale car out of foam. That's the advantages of being working in the construction industry. You can pick it up off the ground or fish it out, foam out of the dumpster. And it's also why I can get such thick pieces of foam. Jeez, almost out. I hope I have enough. This base needs a lot. Doesn't matter. Oh, man. I tell you what, I put too much hot sauce on my fucking burritos today. Whew. Kicking me in the butt. Homemade hot sauce. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a construction inspector in real life, and it's like if I see him using foam, and it's like, you guys throwing that out? I was like, they generally don't care if you pick up. I mean, I can actually go up to the dumpsters and yank it out because I'm on site anyway. So I mean, I just brought a bunch of it, like 3-inch thick foam. Maybe a full sheet's worth. I mean, in chunks and pieces, but a full sheet's worth of 3-inch thick foam. What was it? Thursday I brought it home? Yeah. And that happens to me all the time. But yeah, construction sites are the best for getting free foam. And especially if it's a commercial site because they just go through it like it's nothing. Oh man, excuse me. Oof, man, yeah, I am definitely scraping the bottom of that. Oh man. Almost. Of course, this will take till tomorrow to dry, but whatever. Doesn't matter much. And I had just enough. I mean, these bases, I think they're. How big are these bases? Hey, fortunately, I have that. They're 3 1/4 inches wide. I get them from Walmart in their craft section. I mean, it's like, I don't know how many, but yeah, all out. There's not even really enough for it to scrape up. But it was enough. I got all 5 of them based. All right. Let's see. I know it's kind of weird, but yeah, I put gloves on when I Mod Podge, just, or at least for the hand that's got to hold the terrain piece, because I don't feel like washing it off my fingers. And I'm not a very neat when I put Mod Podge on. So I had made this little cup. I have a bigger thing of Mod Podge, but I already poured it into this little container because hopefully that'll be enough for what I need. Of course, we all know black Mod Podge. Not a big. You might get a little on the texture paste, but that really doesn't matter. So once I get this step done, it'll probably be till tomorrow till I touch this, so it'll be completely dry. I hope. That's one thing I like about this stage. You can be there's absolutely no need to be neat. Though I'll tell you what, a lot lately, I've been using my airbrush to block bomb stuff. But these, I wanted the Mod Podge just because there's a lot of like thin layers in there, and I wanted to give them a little extra protection. And yeah, I am going a little heavy on this. So we'll see. Whew, getting freaking hot down in this basement for some reason lately. But yeah. Oh, that's right. I turned the AC off. Yeah. Oh, man. Has anyone tried out that new Vallejo Express colors? No, I think they initially had like 24 paints, and stores in my area are just now getting the new ones. I think, but there's like a selection of intense pigment. So basically, like it's a lot stronger as far as the pigment it goes. Has either of you guys had a chance to try the new colors from the Vallejo Express line, especially more like the intense pigment? I think there's like I said, 7. I don't know. They're in my truck right now. I forgot to bring them in. I'll go out after this and bring them down in, but I'm just wondering how they actually work. Something for me to try out during when I want to paint some minis, which I have plenty sitting on the table. Oh, I hate winter. I really do. Of course, I work outside, so spring and fall, not bad. Winter, not a fan. Summer, yeah, I could take it or leave it. Thing I like about summer though is all hot pepper plants I grow. So I mean, I got Reaper, Ghost, some habaneros. Waiting on the habaneros because you know how like people make jalapeno poppers. I make habanero poppers. So it doesn't matter if you get a little bit on the texture paste. I mean, honestly, who really cares? Oh man! Oh, that's moving some minis. I'll also use foam just to like do little test sprays from airbrush and also to put pieces on that are drying or in need of drying. And I have a small dry table in front of a fan that I will put these on after this stream is over. Turn that fan on and walk away. And hopefully by the morning it'll be completely dry, or at least enough that I can put them back in the area I'm keeping these projects during the week in between these streams. Like I said, the only time I'm going to be working on these autumn, yeah. Every time I can always wear another layer, but I can't. I don't know. It depends on who's around you, whether or not they whether they appreciate that or not. You know. Well, being the inspector, I can run to my truck and turn the AC on. So come out, walk around, take some pictures of stuff, tell people they're doing stuff wrong, get back in the truck. No, but there are times if someone's doing a really good job, I let them know that too, like I did today. One of the things I do is inspect retaining walls as they're being built. And there was this group of guys I was observing them doing their job, and I was like, they were doing such an excellent job. I let them know, and I also gave their boss a call, and then said, "It's like these guys have been doing such an excellent job. I thought I'd let you know." See, I'll call someone's boss and let them know if they're doing a good job because, listen, most problems can be solved without having to involve a boss. That's it. Huh, that was easy. Okay. Huh. Well, half an hour to get to that point. Not even. Fun part. Clean out your damn brushes. Yeah, like I really care. These are Team U brushes. I think they are. Are they? No. I think this one's a Team U brush. This one isn't. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Nice. There's an old saying along the lines of that. Yeah. Of course, if someone consistently fucks up, I will involve their boss, and sometimes there can be consequences. But screwing up once is a mistake. Any more than that, you're just fucking off and not even really trying. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do this, but I said I really didn't plan on this, but I like these little ones too. These are about that big. It's not going to just be like one trap. I want to do like several of them on the mound. in my head, as of right now, how it'll turn out when it's finally done, I don't know. But in my head, I'm thinking, like, several of them around, and maybe some like tentacles and stuff coming out to grab victims. A little more than just a ambush predator. Of course, I was on TV when I saw pitcher plants they had. I was like, ooh. Haven't ordered them yet, but I'm eventually gonna. Do something similar to this. Plant monsters. Actually, already did a long time ago. Grab it quick and I'll show you. Oh, it's up here somewhere. This was for a challenge piece using pistachio shells. You know, with a plant monster. At least that was my idea. It was kind of like semi-inspired by the Sarlacc pit for this one. This was a challenge piece for Carl makes stuff, and he does his like semi-monthly challenges. Who texted me? Alrighty. Oop! Did not mean to do that. There's got to be a better way to do this. There we go. Hey, that worked. I'm probably going to add something, but these leaves sticking out the sides like that just wasn't going to work. And so this is another week of doing prep work for next week. Oh, thanks, man. This. You know, I'm tearing this off. Eventually, I'm going to have to build something up on top of these stems here. Make it a little more beefy than this skinny little stem. Ain't going to hold that big ass thing up. But again, these stems just, these leaves, no, not going to work. So, oh wow, that was easy. Of course, we all know most of crafting is prep. Oh, that pulled it. Oh wow, that pulled right out. Ah. Ooh, I do not want to pull it the whole way out. How I'm going to build this up, I don't know. I'll figure that out. Yeah. I'm glad you like where it's going, because I really don't know yet. I don't know what the final product's going to look like. Get rid of this paper. It's just getting in the way. I just put that, I mean, I don't have dirty basement terrain, but, and my table looks like crap anyway, but putting the parchment paper down makes it a little bit easier to craft or clean up afterwards. Oh, where's the blade? Oh, shit. There it is. Try something here, see if this will work. Okay, that actually does work. Who would have thought? Use a blade for cutting. See, I actually did. Let's see if I can grab one of my knives here. Yep. You'll do. Time for a dwarf to be a victim. This is what I like about these. The minis actually fit in. So fit in there, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's when, yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said it out loud. I know. Every time I say, yeah, that was easy, it's like, And that's about as bad as saying, hey, watch this. Oh, jeez. I'm doing a live stream and I'm saying, hey, watch this, making a joke about it. Fucking retarded. Oops, sorry. I really got to watch the swear words. Oh, well, that's what the edit button's for. After. But nah. I mean, there are plenty of times where I'm crafting. I swear so much, I make a sailor's ears bleed. Because, come on, we all get frustrated when something doesn't go right. So, you know what? I don't need it that long, so that went off somewhere. So I'll probably use something. I'm not sure what I'll use to. Maybe clay, green stuff, or milliput to build this up. And I'm thinking I'm gonna. Sorry, bump the camera. Thinking I'm gonna to make this a little more secure and sturdy. Gonna paint like veins and stuff, or use some hot glue and then run thin lines along the sides here for like veins and stuff. Oh yeah, you should. I have. They're not horribly expensive, but they'll work out. They're going to work out. Hopefully, they'll work out great. Absolutely, get some. Like I said, I've been ordering. Like I said, I went on a Temu shopping list and just our shopping spree, and I've got a bunch of stuff coming. More of these Venus, more of these plants. I've got some smaller ones coming. A whole bunch of goodies. Because like I said, it was my birthday, or it will be soon. Now I wanted to treat myself. Yeah, yeah. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Jeez, forgot I even had that one. So, I know this is kind of like boring, but yeah, it's like my whole point I was making last week. This is more or less live crafting. I mean, if you want to see quick crafting, go check out Cleric's latest World of Warcraft boat build. That thing was sick looking. Or Dungeon and Chronics latest one, the raft builds. Yeah, that build was nice, worky goodness. Well, plus, at least I'll have a week to figure out how I want to actually integrate these into the bases. But I still got a lot more to go. We shall see. Not even sure how I'm going to do the vines yet, like the vine/tentacles. I have the bunch of the Dollar Tree tentacle packs. Not sure if I want to use those. So, well, I'm going to use these. It's pretty decent. And I don't want to overdo this. But I'm going to need something longer that I can snake around through. I got a week to figure it out. Where the fuck did I put... Yeah, I'm way behind on my video watching. I did see on one of those, I call them soccer mom craft channels. Someone had actually used, they cut all the flowers off of like some of the fake flowers, but then they used what was left over, the wires and stuff with all the, basically something like this. That's is just floral wire. They just bent it into shape. And had a bunch of different creeping vines and stuff. And I'm thinking is like that'll work for tentacles, or like longer length ones that I want to mix in with Dollar Tree Final Faction tentacles. One idea just popped into my head. Yeah, my ideas just pop in at random times. Oh yeah, the rib cage open up. Yeah. Oh shit! Just dropped one. Oh. Ooh. Nope. So we'll see. I think a good way of getting what I'm talking about is a while ago I did some haunted forest trees, where it's just, you've all seen the wire wrap method, where you take a bunch of wires, wrap it up, twist it, and then eventually for trees and stuff. I'm thinking if I take a couple of those wires and twist them up and stuff like that, and then cover them the same way I did the trees, that'll work just great for what I want. Don't sell your soul. Oh yeah. When I said I saw that, yeah, DNC. I was like, I saw like Cross their campaign is saying, after I watch your videos, like in my head is like, okay, how can I do this? I want to do some dirty basement rafts now. And it's like, here's the thing: is like everybody wants to make like small rowboats and stuff for their characters and stuff. But let's be honest, it's like most of the times there's not going to be a boat available, and their only real option is a raft. And they're going to make a raft out of whatever they got on hand, and usually it's not. It especially the one you did with the Dungeon skewers or the barbecue skewers. PCs are pretty much stuck with that style, basically like logs and stuff, and making boats that way, or rafts. Now, if they're closer to town and stuff, yeah, they're going to get a rowboat. But out in the wild, their only option is a raft. You know what? Bigger ones. Always want to try something else. See if it works. I think I have some floral tape I can actually wrap around this and out somewhat. And yeah, done it in Chronics. If I didn't like your stuff, I sure wouldn't be sharing it on my sharing it in community posts on my channel. So it's like that. When you did those fairy rings, it's like, oh, it's like I wish I would have thought of that. I honestly was kicking myself because I'm kind of doing that series, that series of mushrooms, different styles of mushrooms and stuff like that, and that would have been so a fairy ring like that would have been so perfect to do. But it's like, it's like I wish I would have thought of it. And like I said, because of that video, I think I showed you last week. I went out and bought googly eyes. Well, it's like that's a good idea. Of course, I'm looking back on my shelf, and all my mushrooms are up in Canada right now. So I sent them all up to Dungeon Minister, since he's insane enough to run a convention. Granted, it's a Beckme convention, but he's still nuts to do it, I think. I hear a cat roaming around in my building supplies. Yeah, that one's already torn. I gotta cut that with the blade. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, is like, I'm like quickly grabbing stuff and showing. Like when I went and I grabbed this, or I grabbed scissors or anything I've needed. I've grabbed all that. All my main crafting materials is literally within arm's reach. So I mean, if you've got the space for it, I don't play any particular games, so sometimes it's hard to motivate myself to get an idea what to do next. I cannot. What I do is like I have random ideas popping in my head. It's like, oh, I want to do that, but then I have a like spiral bound notepad off, and I just sketch a real quick idea, just a general idea, and oftentimes I'll forget about that idea that I just had, and when I don't know what to do next, I'll pop open that notebook and then look through the ideas I had that at random times. It's like, ooh, I'll build that. And as far as I mean, I primarily play EZD6, but I'm always in fantasy, so it's like I just kind of build whatever the hell I feel like. Honestly, I mean, when I was the DMing or game master or rabble rouser, whatever you want to call it, a lot of times I would build stuff and I would try and work scenarios around what I built. But because most of the times role playing is theater of the mind, so it's not like you have to build something for it. But okay, what do I want to do next? That went quicker than I thought. GS or two near, maybe ask them what their players might need. Yeah, I mean, I've donated to one of my if you have, Cross is saying it's like if you have an FLGS or two, that's actually a good idea because I've actually done that. And I've built stuff and it's like, hey, I got this stuff. Could you guys use this? And I've done that. And also something, it's like there's always a need for like if you're doing dungeon crawls and stuff like that, there's always a need for random dungeon scatter or just any random scatter terrain because I've built plenty of that. Sometimes and it's like sometimes I just build it because I feel like it. Yeah, well, some of them. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of new stores opening up around me. It's like most of them are for like TCGs or trading card games or trading. I don't know, whatever the hell the card games are like Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic to get. Magic. But a lot of them, there's not a lot of tabletop game stores around me, at least not with it. I have two that do a lot of tabletop gaming, but it's primarily like Games Workshop, which I really don't have a problem against, other than what they charge for their minis. Ugh. So I used to play Warhammer Fantasy before, back in the day. I love the game. I know. Tempted to go in and set on some builds on a table and leave. You know what? A lot of time, I actually, if you would go into my one local game store, it's like I've left so much terrain there that if you could find a game going on in there that doesn't have at least a couple pieces of terrain that I built, I would they're not playing a tabletop wargaming game. I mean, last time I went in there, Friday evenings is when my one local store does all of its miniature gaming and stuff. So I went in last time I went in there on a Friday evening while that was going on. Is like every single there was like 6 games going on. I think it was Warhammer, Malifaux, Warhammer Fantasy. There was a game of BattleTech going on. Like I said it's a free for all on their Friday evenings, but every single table had something I had built because I've been going to this store for 20, 15, 20 plus years. The store's been around for a while. I've even helped them move locations once. But all right, I am actually at a decent stopping point. I know last week I went about an hour, and I'll tell you what, for these live streams I didn't imagine I could actually talk this much. And you know what? You're right. It is kind of cool to see people using your stuff that you've built, but it's also cool. What my favorite part of Friday evening, in there was this one guy I do not get along with at all. He's grumpy. He's miserable. Cross, he makes you seem like, a ray of frickin' sunshine. But he just started I don't know what we got into. We got into an argument, and he said something about my terrain being garbage. And I was like, so you're saying you would never use any of my terrain ever? And he was like, no, I wouldn't. I was like, that's fine. So I proceeded to take 2/3 of the terrain he had on his table off. I was like, hey, you said you didn't want to use anything I ever made. There's something also neat I got from TMU. These little mushrooms. It's like one of the things I intend to do eventually in my mushroom series videos is modifying pre-made mushrooms. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but like the mushroom monsters I built, Hey, Paint Manny's live. He got here towards the end. But I eventually plan to do a video on modifying existing mushrooms. So that's going to be geared more towards like beginner level crafters. So it's like, oh, you got all these cool mushroom trays. Like, yeah, but you don't really need tools to basically repaint and add little things to something like this. So yeah, this is pretty much where I plan on stopping. Yeah, that's true. I'm a confirm. Oh yeah, yeah, you are. Oh, yeah, that was the best. Oh, like I said, he's a miserable prick. To be blunt, I mean, I'm a grumpy sob. Matter of fact, I mean, at the time I was. Let me show you. Now this involves my middle name because at the store, online I go by my first name. IRL I go by my middle name. I wasn't exactly known as a happy camper. But at the store, I was known as Angry Scott. Well, that's mainly because I hated kids. And I'd be at their painting area because the store is great. It has... the store has every Friday during miniature gaming. It also has a painting clinic. They have a store painters, and they also make available free brushes and paints for people to use. You too, DNC. But they have, I think they use, it's all Games Workshop paints that they put out. But it paints, everything's free. The only thing you have to provide is you have to pay for your miniature. That's it. You know, and I just lost my complete train of thought here. But it's like, I never liked the Game Workshop, the Games Workshop paints at the time. And I still use them because I have quite a bit. The Reaper paints, because at the time I preferred that, and at one time I was a demo agent for their games or the miniatures, but so I could get their paints for free, and I actually preferred the Reaper paints over the Games Workshop. But anyway, I'd be painting my stuff, and you get these little kids, under 12, 11, 10-year-old kids, and they're grabbing at my personally owned paints, bugging the living ever hell out of me. And it's like, oh, yeah. And the problem is the store stopped carrying them, and it's like, and they've got in a very limited selection of Vallejo, which they can't get restocked for some reason. So I was like, yeah, that was dumb. So I just started buying my paints from another game store that's within, about the same distance from my house. Especially now with the Army Painter Fanatic line. I've tried a couple of those, and I love them. Absolutely love them. Well, Paint Mania's Live, I've got some paints that are so old that I've had to replace the caps because the caps have dried and they're cracking apart. But yeah, I've got tons and tons of them, but I'm slowly replacing. I want to slowly replace all my Reaper paints with the new Fanatic line from Army Painter, because I have a local game store that's going to carry them all. So, well, guys, I am at a stop point here, and I am getting tired, and I have heartburn from all living hell. So I'm going to go take care of that. Thanks for everyone that showed up. Dungeons and Chronicles, Cross, you grumpy curmudgeon. Paint Manny's Live, appreciate you. And Paint Manny's Live, have fun up at Claricon. Wish I could join you, but my crafting stuff will be there. Claire's Creations. Okay. So, catch you later, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. Appreciate it.